Hello everyone, you're tuned in to Six Path Weeb. Today, we're exploring a fanfic that mixes action, drama, and a twist of chaos, Naruto x Kushina, time travel chaos. Disclaimer, everything on this channel is for entertainment and discussion. I do not own any anime footage used in my videos, all rights go to the original creators and copyright holders. So, buckle up and let's dive into the story. Konoha Hospital. It was the day before the Chunin exams. Naruto was resting in her hospital bed, preparing for her big challenge against Neji Hyuga. She felt excited that she had made it to the finals, but one thought kept lingering in her mind. It was what Gaara had said to her just a day ago. "So you have a monster too? That makes us the same." Naruto frowned, thinking. What does he mean by that? Does he have a beast inside him too? Am I not alone? The next day, thousands would watch her face Neji Hyuga, and she would be one step closer to achieving her dream of becoming a Chunin. But doubt crept in, would they even accept her if she won? Could she reach her ultimate goal of becoming Hokage someday? Her mind wandered back to the day she discovered the forbidden scrolls of secret jutsu. Flashback, a few months ago. Naruto had tried her best during the Chunin exams, but she had failed 3 times. Her dream of becoming Hokage seemed far away. All she wanted was for people to respect her, to make friends, or even to be part of a family who cared for her. One day, while reading a scroll of forbidden jutsu, a particular technique caught her eye. "Time seal," Naruto whispered. She raised an eyebrow. Time? Could it mean freezing enemies, moving faster, or maybe, going back in time? Her curiosity was unstoppable. Back in the present. Time seal. I still remember it, Naruto said softly, chuckling. But, am I forgetting something? She rubbed the back of her head, trying to recall the missing step. Deciding she needed privacy, she left her bed and quietly climbed to the hospital rooftop. This should be the spot, she said, looking around. She closed her eyes, performing the hand signs. After the 9th sign, a strange sensation flowed through her body. Suddenly, a bright light flashed, and everything around her vanished. When the light faded, Naruto found herself in the hidden forest of Konoha. Confused, she looked around. Then she heard a roar, followed by a scream. Peeking through some bushes, Naruto's eyes widened. She saw a giant orange fox towering over 2 people. Between them, an infant lay on the ground. Standing nearby were the 3rd Hokage and a small group of Jounins. Naruto gasped. The man behind the red-haired woman was the 4th Hokage, the same one who had sealed the 9-tailed fox into her. The beast behind him was the 9-tailed fox itself. This is the past. Naruto thought. This is my birth. The 4th Hokage spoke gently to the red-haired woman. I'm going to perform the 8 trigram seal. I'll leave my chakra within Naruto as well. Kushina, if you have any last words for Naruto, say them now. Kushina smiled warmly at the infant. I have so much I wanted to tell you, Naruto, she said. I love you so much. You will have a tough life, but always be strong. Don't stay up too late, eat well, and always take care of yourself. Make a few true friends, listen to your teachers, and remember, you are never truly alone. Naruto felt her chest ache. She watched as her mother spoke with so much love, even as her body was weak. And when you meet someone special someday, pick someone kind and gentle, someone who reminds you of me, Kushina added with a small smile. The 4th Hokage chuckled softly. And remember, Naruto, your parents love you very much. You are the child of 2 brave hearts. You will grow up to be a wonderful ninja, just like us. With those words, the 8 trigram seal was performed. In a flash of light, Naruto was back on the hospital rooftop, trembling. Mom, Dad, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. She had seen their love firsthand, even in the face of their sacrifice. Her memories flooded back, the times she had felt lonely, misunderstood, or rejected. She remembered the hurtful words, the teasing, and the fear of being different. Yet now, Naruto felt a warmth in her heart. She was not alone. Her parents had believed in her. And maybe, just maybe, that belief was enough to light the path ahead. I'm not alone, Naruto whispered again, stronger this time. I will be strong, for them, for me. The 3rd Hokage's office. Naruto stepped quietly into the 3rd Hokage's office. She wore her usual black t-shirt and black shorts, the same outfit she had worn during her stay at the hospital. The 3rd Hokage, Sarutobi, looked up from his papers, a small hint of curiosity in his eyes. Naruto, is it? The finals are tomorrow, you're supposed to be resting. Naruko didn't meet his gaze. Instead, she spoke softly but with determination. Old man. Can I ask you something? Sarutobi smiled gently. Of course, Naruko. You can ask me anything. What's on your mind? She rubbed her right forearm, a little shy, yet resolute. Do you remember when I asked you about my parents? A long time ago? Yes, Naruko, Sarutobi replied, his voice gentle. You were just 5 years old that day, standing right here and asking the same question. I remember it clearly. Naruko's eyes glimmered with a mix of anger and sadness. You told me that my parents were gone because of the Kyuubi attack. That's all. But is there anything more? Anything you didn't tell me? Sarutobi's heart tightened as he saw the storm of emotions in her eyes, anger, betrayal, sorrow. He opened his mouth to speak, but Naruko interrupted him. I don't want to hear it, she said, her voice trembling. You lied to me, old man. I know who my parents are. And all this time, I thought I was alone, unloved. To know they gave their lives to protect me. It makes me feel so small. And because of me, they're gone. Naruko. What did you do? Sarutobi asked, concern deepening his frown. I don't know. I did a jutsu, I remember it from long ago, when Mizuki tried to take the scrolls. I went back in time, just for a moment, but I saw enough. Enough to know that my parents, they were protecting me. I know it. But because of me, they're gone. It's all my fault. If only I hadn't been born. Sarutobi felt a pang of pity. He stepped closer, intending to comfort her, but Naruko shook her head fiercely. Don't touch me, she exclaimed. You were there too. You watched them die. Sarutobi, she whispered with a mix of grief and frustration. No one ever cared about me, not my teammates, not my sensei. Everyone either pitied me or ignored me. No one understands me. The old Hokage's voice grew firm. Naruko, please listen. I couldn't do anything because your mother. She made sure of it. They gave their lives to protect you. The Kyuubi would have hurt you if they hadn't. Your parents loved you more than anything. They wanted you to live. Naruko's eyes widened, a glimmer of understanding breaking through her sadness. I raised you for 5 years, Naruko, Sarutobi continued. I gave you a home. I gave you tasks to help you grow, not to burden you, but so you could become strong. You are not alone. You are not unloved. A small, shy laugh escaped her lips. Because I have the Kyuubi inside me, right? Sarutobi shook his head. No, Naruko. You are an Uzumaki. Your clan was strong, brave, and wise. The first Hokage's wife, Mito Uzumaki, was part of your family. You should be proud. You are the last of the Uzumaki line, and that is a very special thing. Naruko's heart ached at hearing she was the last of her clan, but she also felt a tiny spark of pride. I'm the last one, she whispered, but it feels like no one cares. Everyone notices when others are special, but me. I've been kept in the dark about everything. Sarutobi crouched down to meet her gaze. Naruko, your parents chose you. They believed in you. And so do I. Your clan may be gone, but their legacy is alive in you. You are strong. You are important. And one day, you will shine in this village, not because of the Kyuubi, but because of who you are. Naruko's shoulders relaxed slightly, and a small, genuine smile appeared. Thanks, Sarutobi. I think I understand a little better now. I'll rest tonight. Tomorrow is a big day. As she walked toward the door, Sarutobi called after her gently, I'm sorry I hid the truth, Naruko. But remember, you are never alone. You carry love and hope with you, always. Naruko paused for a moment, then nodded. I know, old man. Goodbye for now. And with that, she left the office, carrying a newfound warmth in her heart, ready to face tomorrow. Later that afternoon. Alone in her apartment, Naruko lay on her bed, thinking back to what her mother Kushina had said. Make friends. Don't stay up late. Meet someone like her. Mom. Dad. I wish you were both here. I'm so lost. I don't know what to do. What can I do? I don't even know anything about my family. And they knew Pervy Sage too. Did he know my parents? Naruko turned onto her right side and stared at the picture of Team 7. She picked up the photo and gently placed it face down on the nightstand. Friends. Real friends. I don't have any. Not the ones you wanted me to have, she whispered. Her eyes closed as a quiet sadness settled over her. Then, a familiar presence stirred within her. Naruko's soul, Kyuubi's cage. Behind the shimmering seal, the nine-tailed fox appeared, its golden eyes glinting with curiosity. So, you know the truth? The fox asked, a small smirk playing on its lips. Does that change anything between us? I don't know much. But because of you. Because of you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you, Naruko shouted, her tiny fists trembling. The fox's ears twitched. So what? You are only a small fragment of your own anger. Do you think I chose to be sealed inside you? Thank your fourth Hokage for that. Don't come crying to me. I've endured centuries. Your hatred doesn't change a thing. Small fragment? I thought you hated me more, after all. After what you tried to do. Naruko's voice wavered, a mix of fear and defiance. The fox's tail swished, and it let out a low growl. You little brat. Don't think words will win this. If it weren't for the seal, I would have finished what I started 12 years ago. Your parents. Your mother. Your father. Even you. All tied to this fate. I don't care what you feel about me, Naruko said softly, her voice breaking. I'm stuck with you forever. If I disappear, so do you. But this world. It doesn't need me. I have no place. No reason to be here. The fox's gaze softened, almost gently. You feel despair because you think the world will never understand you, that you'll never be strong or recognized. I have been with you since birth. I know your heart. Even when you secretly believe everyone hates you. Don't deny it, Naruko. I know you. Naruko looked away, ashamed. Deep down, the fox was right, she had felt unwanted in Konoha her whole life. I can see the weakness in your heart, the fox said, and in that moment, Naruko's form shimmered and shrank. She now looked like her 5-year-old self, small and vulnerable. The fox's eyes widened slightly. I know your feelings, Naruko. We are linked. They hate you because they cannot understand the burden of being a host. They cannot see what we see. What we feel. But I have been misjudged too. Fox? Naruko asked, shivering with both fear and hope. Those thoughts of despair won't help, the fox said, its voice calm yet firm. What would your parents think if you gave up because no one understood? Fear comes from not knowing. And we, Naruko, are the unknown. But you are not alone. Your mother. She too. She understood. She was like you, once my host. My mother? Naruko whispered. Yes, the fox said. Kushina was brought here to Konoha to be a host, just as you were. Taken from her home. Forced into a path she didn't choose. But the old Hokage changed that. He gave her a life of choice. There are 8 others like us, alone, misunderstood. Until someone sees us. Now, with the time seal, you can see your parents. You can meet them. You can change things. Don't you want to see them? Yes. I wanted to meet my parents, to know them. To be with them. I want my family back. The family that was taken from me. I want them now, Naruko shouted, tears sparkling in her eyes. Then do it, the fox said softly, watching her with an approving nod. But first. Do you know my name? Naruko hesitated, her small hands clasped together. Everyone has a name. And all I know is that you are a fearsome fox. But I don't know you. You've been with me 12 years, yet I don't know you. What is your name, fox? The fox tilted its head, a flicker of surprise in its golden eyes. You are the only one who has ever asked that. Very well, Naruko. I shall tell you my name. But only if you promise me one thing. What is it? She asked, eyes wide with curiosity. The rain poured gently over the village of Konoha, painting the streets in silver reflections. Naruko lay on the wet ground, staring up at the dark, swirling clouds above. She shivered in the cool rain and hugged her knees tightly. Did it work? She whispered to herself. Her heart felt heavy with hope and worry. If she had truly gone back in time, could she save her parents? Would the world change, or would everything stay the same? The thought weighed on her like a stone in her chest. Her thoughts drifted to Kurama, the great fox spirit she had spoken to. I have to do it on my own, she murmured. I must save them. Just like they saved me. Suddenly, a shadow fell over her. Naruko looked up, and her eyes widened in astonishment. Standing before her was a man with kind eyes, holding a large umbrella and wearing a jounin jacket. Hey there, kid, he said gently. Why are you out in the rain all alone? You'll catch a cold if you stay here. Naruko's lips parted in disbelief. Could it be her father? Minato, the fourth Hokage? He knelt down to her height, smiling warmly. What's with the long face? Did a mission go wrong? Or did you just lose your way? I'm sorry, Naruto whispered. Minato tilted his head, puzzled but patient. Sorry for what? Naruto's voice grew a little stronger. I'm sorry. For what, little one? Minato asked, brushing a wet strand of hair from her face. Everyone has rough days. You're going to do amazing things. But first, let me know your name. Where are your parents? Naruto hesitated. The words stuck in her throat. She looked into her father's eyes one last time, and then her knees gave way. She fell, overwhelmed. Hey! Wake up, kiddo! Come on, wake up! A gentle voice called. Minato's hands were steady as he lifted her onto his back. He carried her carefully, walking through the rain-soaked streets, thinking, this child. Her eyes. They're like Kushina's. Soon, they reached home, where Kushina was waiting with a soft smile and a warm heart. She hadn't seen her daughter yet, but somehow, her maternal instincts recognized her instantly. Naruto, bundled in her father's jacket and the safety of his embrace, finally felt a small spark of hope in her heart. She whispered again, barely audible, I'm sorry. Kushina gently stroked her hair. There's nothing to be sorry for, my little one. You're safe now. Naruto felt a warm glow spread through her chest. She realized that sometimes, even the heaviest rain could be washed away by kindness and love. And for the first time since she had returned to this past, she believed that maybe, just maybe, she could save her family and bring joy back to their lives. Kurama's voice echoed softly in her mind, remember, Naruto, the heart that loves is stronger than any magic. Trust yourself, and you will find your way. And for the first time in a long time, Naruto smiled. Konoha 12 years ago, Namikaze household. It was raining that day, and Naruto could hear the soft tapping of raindrops against the window. She slowly opened her eyes to find herself in a dimly lit room. The only light came from a window streaked with rain, revealing the gray skies outside. Her body felt strange, slightly weak, a little queasy, and though she tried to shake it off, the sensation lingered. She looked around, realizing she was in a room she did not recognize. Carefully, Naruto climbed out of the bed and stepped into the hallway. Light spilled from the rooms down the corridor. She noticed she was on the second floor of a house she vaguely recognized. Faint voices floated up from below. Curious, Naruto approached the stairway. Where did you find her, Minato? A woman's voice asked. I found her near the alleyway. I'm not sure why she was there, but she looked lost, Minato's voice replied. Minato, Kushina, there, my parents, Naruto realized, a heavy frown crossing her face. She watched as her parents, alive and cheerful, unknowingly shared moments she had only dreamed of. Kushina, I'll be back. The little one looks tired. I'll fetch some first aid, Minato said. Come back soon, Minato, Kushina replied. I will, he chuckled softly. Naruto leaned against the hallway wall, her heart heavy with wonder and sadness. They were so full of life, so unaware of the hardships that would one day come. She sighed quietly. Well, since I'm here, for who knows how long, I suppose I can take this chance to get to know my parents, she thought. But first, rest. A few hours later, the smell of cooking woke Naruto. Her stomach growled as the aroma of fresh food filled the room. You're finally up. Perfect timing, you're about to taste the best food in the world. A cheerful voice called. Naruto lifted her head and saw Minato sitting nearby. She realized she had been resting on the couch. Where am I? She asked, blinking sleepily. My home, Minato replied with a gentle smile. Dinner's ready. Kushina's voice chimed from the kitchen. Naruto watched as Kushina emerged, carrying a roast turkey. The smell made her stomach growl even louder, and she blushed at the sound. Minato and Kushina exchanged amused glances. The table wasn't large, nor was it small, just a cozy family dining table. Naruto took the seat in the middle, with Kushina to her right and Minato to her left. She felt like she had stepped into a dream, but there was still a small, quiet emptiness she couldn't explain. So, what is your name, young lady? Kushina asked warmly. Naruto hesitated, a long pause stretching between them. Minato noticed the strange mixture of joy and sadness in her eyes. My husband brought you in from the rain. You owe him at least your name, Kushina added with a playful smile, tapping Naruto lightly on the head with a wooden spoon. Ouch, Naruto laughed, rubbing her head. I'm Naruto, she said finally. Naruto, what a wonderful name, Kushina said, beaming. Minato nodded in agreement. I like that name. Naruko, I'm Minato Namikaze, and this is my beloved wife, Kushina Uzumaki, Minato introduced. Neither realized they were introducing themselves to their own daughter from the future. You're a Genin, I presume? What squad are you part of? Kushina asked curiously. Team 7, Naruko replied. Team 7? I've never heard of that team before, Kushina said. Naruko's heart skipped a beat, but then Minato gave her a reassuring glance. Ah, yes. One of the new teams Sarutobi-sensei mentioned for next year's Chunin exams, Kushina realized, nodding. Naruko sighed with relief, grateful her father had quietly saved her from discovery. Do you know where your parents are? Kushina asked gently. Naruko hesitated, then said softly, I don't know if I have any parents. Kushina's frown deepened, and she whispered, I'm so sorry. It's okay. I've been through worse, yes, I really have, Naruko said with a small, wistful chuckle. Can I eat now? She quickly changed the subject. Of course, Kushina laughed. And so, the three of them sat down to dinner. There were no pressing questions, no difficult conversations, just laughter, warmth, and the joy of sharing a meal. Minato told a funny story about Jiraiya's adventurous research trips, while Kushina rolled her eyes, promising her husband would never imitate Jiraiya's antics. And for the first time in a long while, Naruko felt at home. You better not. I won't have my husband being silly or careless. Our youngest leaf ninja ever to be Hokage deserves better than that, Kushina scolded, her eyes sparkling with seriousness. Minato couldn't help but laugh, watching his wife fuss over him. Seeing his parents interact always made Naruko smile, even if it tugged at her heart in ways she couldn't fully explain. After dinner, while Minato washed the dishes, Naruko helped Kushina clear the table. Naruko, you can go take a bath first, okay? Kushina said with a little wink. I have a tiny surprise for your father. Want to know? Naruko's eyes sparkled with curiosity as she nodded eagerly. Kushina leaned close and whispered, I'm going to have a baby. Naruko's mouth dropped open in surprise. Then a big smile spread across her face. He'll be so surprised, she whispered to herself, imagining her father's reaction. Upstairs in the bathroom, Naruko ran warm water and relaxed, thinking about her parents. She could hear them below, their voices full of joy. I'm going to be a mom, you know. Kushina's voice rang with excitement. And I'm going to be a dad, Minato shouted happily. Naruko giggled, listening. My parents, she murmured, shaking her head with a smile. In the bathtub, Naruko let herself think about everything, the way her parents had shaped her life, the love they shared, and how she longed to be a part of it more fully. 12 years of loneliness had made her heart ache, but seeing them now filled her with hope and warmth. I'll protect them, Naruko whispered to herself. I'll make sure our family stays happy and together. I won't let anyone be alone again. She felt a soft comfort settle over her as the water lapped gently around her. Tears of joy rolled down her cheeks, but they were happy tears, tears of love, hope, and dreams she had held close for so long. Later, dressed in the pajamas Kushina had left for her, Naruko peeked down the staircase. Minato was resting his head on Kushina's lap, and Kushina's hands gently stroked his hair. The two shared a tender, quiet kiss, and Naruko's heart felt full. She stayed for a moment, watching the peaceful scene, imagining all the adventures and happiness the future would bring for their little family. From the kitchen below, Kushina laughed. Minato, Naruko is such a sweet girl. She reminds me how gentle you were when we were young. I think she reminds me of you, Minato said, smiling. Her eyes are bright and full of curiosity. I think she's been looking for a family, just like we were looking for our own little miracle. Why don't we adopt her? Kushina suggested. We have some time before the baby arrives, and having Naruko with us will make our family even stronger. Naruko peeked just a little closer, her heart swelling with hope. I'd love that, Kushina added, grinning. In that moment, Naruko realized that home wasn't just a place, it was where love lived, and she finally felt like she had found it. There's no need to adopt me. You already have me inside you, Mom, Naruko whispered softly. She pressed her small hands against the glass window of the little nursery, her reflection smiling back at her. It feels like forever, she murmured. But maybe forever is just another word for being home. I'm sorry. So sorry, Naruko whispered again, her voice trembling. I want to tell you who I am. And I really wanted to tell you. I love you both. For a moment, Naruko felt herself drifting, like she was part of a dream. Slowly, She began to fade, leaving only a soft glow where she had been. But even as she seemed to disappear, she could see her parents clearly. Minato and Kushina were laughing together, their smiles warm and bright, their hands intertwined. They were perfect, kind-hearted, and full of love. Time in that magical moment didn't matter. Naruto understood something she hadn't before: life could be mysterious, but love was eternal. She didn't need to be in that moment forever to feel it in her heart. Minato, Kushina said, her eyes twinkling, we need a good name for the baby. I am sure any name will fit our child well, Minato chuckled gently. Nope, not a boy, Kushina grinned. It's a girl. I'm sure either name we pick will be perfect for our little girl, Minato said with laughter. And she'll have a big brother to keep her safe. Naruto blinked and slowly opened her eyes. She was back in her own little apartment, lying on her bed. The memories of that bright, loving moment with her parents filled her with warmth. She felt tears slipping down her cheeks, not from sadness, but from how much love her heart could hold. She hugged her head, letting out a soft sigh. She didn't need to change anything or fix the past. What mattered was hope, love, and the dreams she carried inside her. I'll keep looking for that scroll, she whispered to herself, smiling through the tears. Maybe it has more stories, more hope, more magic. And maybe one day, I can share it with everyone I love. I won't give up on love. Ever. Naruto sat up, her bright eyes reflecting the light of the stars outside her window. She knew that love, hope, and family were the true magic of the world, and she could carry it with her wherever she went. And as she gazed at the night sky, she whispered, the stars shine for everyone, and they shine for me too. Today was the day of the Chunin exams finals. The whole village was buzzing with excitement, except for Naruto. Deep in her thoughts, she wasn't focused on the competition at all. Instead, she was thinking about the forbidden scrolls that had disappeared long ago. She had learned some secrets about them recently, and her heart longed to find them again. What will you do now? You can't just ask the Hokage where he hid them, Kurama's voice whispered in her mind. I don't know, Kurama, Naruto sighed. But I'm so close. I just need more time. I need to see them again. I want to understand them. I feel like they belong to me. Like I belong there. Then let's be quick. The past waits for us, Kurama encouraged. Naruto nodded. Yes, let's go. Dash. A few hours later, Chunin exam finals arena, Hidden Leaf Village. Naruto slid into the arena and stood beside Shikamaru. Think we can make it through this? Shikamaru asked lazily. Yeah, we made it this far, Naruto smiled, feeling a spark of determination. All right, enough chatting. Stand tall and look proud, Genma said, clapping his hands. Naruto glanced around and saw thousands of villagers cheering for the young ninja. Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, Shino, Shikamaru, Neji, and Naruto were all ready. Some familiar faces were missing, but it didn't matter, they were all here to do their best. The 7 of you are the competitors in this final round of the Chunin exams, Genma announced. Welcome all to today's event. The third Hokage, Sarutobi, shouted with a warm smile, looking down at the young ninjas. Everyone clapped and cheered. Naruto's heart raced. This is it. This is my moment, she thought. Now let the final event of the Chunin exams begin. May the best ninja shine today. Show your pride, your courage, and your dreams. Sarutobi encouraged. Dash. Down below, Genma called out, first match, Neji Hyuga vs Naruto Uzumaki. Everyone in the audience cheered as Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, Shikamaru, and Shino left the area, leaving Naruto and Neji alone. You need to be careful with Hinata, Naruto said firmly, a hint of worry in her voice. She's family to you, and she deserves kindness, not harshness. Neji's expression softened for a moment. Sometimes, life teaches lessons in unusual ways, he said gently. But you're right. I've learned much since then. Naruto smiled, feeling proud. Then let's show everyone our best today, not to compete against each other, but to inspire each other. The crowd watched as the 2 young ninjas demonstrated their skill and focus. Their match wasn't about winning or losing, it was about learning, growing, and encouraging everyone who watched. Dash. Meanwhile, in Sarutobi's office. Naruto quietly tiptoed through the Hokage's office, searching for the hidden scrolls. She had sent a clever shadow clone to the arena so that the match could continue without interruption. The office was quiet, and Naruto moved carefully, using the ceiling passages to stay hidden. Suddenly, she overheard voices. 3 elders were speaking. This year's Chunin exams are very different, Homura Mitokado said with a small smile. Indeed. But that is not the reason I've called you here, Danzo Shimura said gravely. Naruko paused, listening intently. The elders spoke of past mistakes, lost opportunities, and the importance of courage and wisdom. She felt a mix of sadness and determination. They don't understand what truly matters, she thought. I will find the scrolls, not to be a tool, but to learn, to grow, and to protect what is good. Carefully, she crawled along the ceiling, and a patch gave way beneath her. She tumbled into a dark room but quickly rose, brushing herself off. Using a flashlight she found, Naruko looked around. This must be the Hokage's secret room, she whispered. And the scrolls must be here somewhere. Her heart raced with hope. This was her chance, not to fight, but to discover, to explore, and to connect with the mysteries of the past. And so, Naruko's adventure continued, full of curiosity, courage, and the promise of learning something extraordinary. Naruko looked around the room, her bright eyes scanning every shelf and table. After a few moments, she spotted a large scroll resting on an old wooden table. She hurried over, her orange scarf fluttering behind her, and grinned widely. Found it, she exclaimed, her voice full of excitement. Carefully, Naruko unrolled the scroll, searching for the part about the mysterious time-sealed jutsu. Her fingers traced the elegant characters until she found exactly what she was looking for. Gently, she tore out the page and tucked it safely into her shirt. With that done, Naruko decided to explore the rest of the scroll. The more she read, the more fascinated she became. There were so many jutsu, each one more curious than the last, but none captured her heart quite like the time seal. Beside the forbidden scroll, a small book caught her attention. The name Minato was written on the cover in neat letters. Naruko's smile faltered as she realized it was her father's book, here and not in her hands before. She opened it carefully, and a small photograph slipped out. Naruko picked it up and frowned softly. The picture showed Minato and Kushina laughing together on a sunny day, their happiness shining like a golden light. Her heart felt a little heavier, but she gently placed the photo in her pocket. As Naruko read through the pages of her father's book, she learned about Minato's life, how he met Kushina, and how kind and brave she had been. She learned about the homeland of the Uzumaki, a beautiful place by the sea called Uzushiogakur. To reach it, Naruko realized, she would need a boat. Excited by the adventure ahead, Naruko glanced around the room and noticed an old map of the lands. Some of the places had changed over time, but Uzushiogakur was still marked clearly. She smiled brightly. So, this is where the journey begins, she whispered to herself. Naruko stepped out of the room, the scroll and book safely tucked under her arm. She took a deep breath of fresh air and thought about what lay ahead. What would happen to the world she was leaving behind? Would it change because of her actions? She shook her head and smiled, determination lighting her eyes. They don't need me here. But I know where I'm needed most. As she made her way through the forest on the edge of Konoha, Naruko noticed familiar faces in the distance, Kakashi and Sasuke. She waved cheerfully, though a little nervous. Naruko, where are you going? Kakashi called out, his calm voice always reassuring. My own little adventure, Naruko replied with a grin. I'm following the path my father wrote about. Sasuke frowned in confusion. You're skipping the Chunin exams? Naruko laughed lightly. Sometimes, the most important journey isn't on a test or in a competition. It's finding where you truly belong. Kakashi stepped closer, placing a hand gently on her shoulder. Just remember, you're never alone. You have friends who care about you, Naruko. Naruko nodded, her heart warming. She remembered all the people who had guided her, taught her, and cheered for her, even when things were hard. I know, Kakashi-sensei. And I'll always carry that with me, she said softly. With that, Naruko sprinted forward, her spirit light and her mind full of possibilities. She imagined the ocean waves sparkling in the sunlight, the wind carrying her toward Uzushiogakur. In that moment, she felt a burst of happiness and courage, knowing that family wasn't just about blood, it was about those who truly cared. As she disappeared into the forest, the gentle rustle of leaves whispered behind her, as if cheering her on. Naruko was ready to embrace the adventure of a lifetime. Naruko ran on all fours, her movement swift and agile like a little fox in the forest. Her speed was so fast that even her friends, Sasuke and Kakashi, had trouble keeping up. Glancing over her shoulder, Naruko saw them following, their expressions a mix of worry and determination. Suddenly, she stopped in her tracks and stared at her two friends. She took a deep breath, puffed her cheeks, and let out a loud howl that shook the leaves and trees around them. The sound made the branches sway and a few loose leaves flutter to the ground. It wasn't meant to hurt anyone, it was just Naruto letting out all her feelings. Then, with a determined glance at the path ahead, Naruto dashed off again, hoping to give her friends time to catch up or at least slow them down. After what felt like hours, she finally stopped near a sparkling lake. The water shimmered under the sunlight breaking through the clouds. Naruto's throat was dry from running, so she scooped up some water with her hands and drank deeply. As she looked at her reflection, she noticed her bright, unusual eyes staring back. She frowned. Am I different? Am I too strange? She whispered to herself. A calm voice echoed from across the lake. Those who are different are often misunderstood, but that doesn't make them any less special. Startled, Naruto turned to see a man standing on the other side of the water. He had fiery red hair and a friendly smile, wearing clothes that told her he was a ninja from a distant village. Who are you? Naruto asked cautiously. I am someone who once felt just like you, the man replied. I've been a host of a great power, just like you carry inside yourself. Naruto blinked, unsure what to say. The man stepped a little closer but didn't move too quickly. Your eyes. They tell me that you're feeling lost and lonely. You're not alone in that, Naruto. Naruto sighed, the water dripping from her hands. I wish I had a family. I wish I could have a normal life. Everyone treats me differently because of what I am inside. Even my friends. Even the village. Her voice trembled. The man nodded kindly. I understand. I was once a host of a great power too. My name is Roshi, and I've learned that it's not the power that makes you, but the kindness and courage inside you. Even when it feels lonely, there's always hope. Naruto listened, feeling a warm sense of comfort she hadn't felt in a long time. She closed her eyes and imagined a life filled with friends who truly understood her, a village where she belonged, and a family that loved her. Thank you, she whispered. I think I'm ready to try again. Good, Roshi said with a smile. Sometimes, you need to see things from a new perspective to understand your true path. Remember, Naruto, it's not just about power, it's about heart, courage, and the love you carry for others. Naruto felt a surge of determination. She stood tall by the lake, letting the gentle breeze brush her face. With a deep breath, she focused her energy, imagining a magical seal that could take her to a chance to change the past and shape a better future. The lake shimmered with a bright, gentle glow, surrounding her in a calm, protective light. Suddenly, she felt herself gently lifted, drifting into the water as though the lake itself was carrying her through time. Her last thought before everything went quiet was, I will make things right. I will create a world where everyone belongs. 12 years ago, Konoha passed, July 1st. Naruto awoke to the soft patter of rain, lying in a narrow alleyway. Her blue eyes fluttered open as she felt the gentle chill of the rain on her cheeks. Though she was hurt and exhausted, she remembered the promise she had made to herself, to find her place and protect those she loved. Crawling carefully, she heard familiar voices in the distance. Her mother's warm laughter, the chatter of friends helping prepare for a celebration, sounds of love and family that made her heart ache with longing. Naruto reached forward, her small hand trembling, wishing she could be with them. Mom. Dad, she whispered, her voice barely audible over the rain. Even though she was weak, a small smile grew on her face. She knew she was strong in ways that didn't just come from power. She had hope, courage, and a heart that refused to give up. And with that, Naruto pulled herself forward, step by step, toward a brighter tomorrow, knowing that one day she would be able to change the future and bring everyone together. Dear YouTube family. This is all for now. Thank you for your time and support. Your likes, shares, and subscriptions mean the world. Regards. 6 Path Weeb.